A call that changed everything. The day it happened began like any other, with the same grey sky, the same quiet street, and the same routine that 22-year-old Liam followed without thinking. He woke up late, rushed through a half-burnt toast, and hurried toward his job at the local electronics store, where he spent 8 hours asking people if they needed help finding a charger. Nothing about that morning suggested that his life was about to split into a before and an after. Yet sometimes the biggest storms don't come with warning signs. They arrive silently, like a phone call when you least expect it. Liam's relationship with his mother had never been simple. She was soft-spoken, warm, and endlessly patient, while he was restless, stubborn, and usually too caught up in his own world to notice the effort she put into theirs. They had drifted unintentionally in the last few months. He had moved into a small apartment across town with his friend Noah, and although he promised he'd visit every Sunday, the visits slowly turned into quick calls, then rare messages, and often nothing. She never complained. She just sent him little reminders of stay safe, eat something healthy today, proud of you, messages he opened and then forgot to reply to. He told himself he would make it up to her when life slowed down. He didn't know that life rarely waits for us. It was late afternoon when his phone buzzed. He was in the employee break room, eating chips and scrolling through memes, half listening to Noah rant about his girlfriend. He glanced at the screen and saw the one name he wasn't expecting, Mom. For a moment he considered ignoring it. He was tired, in a bad mood, and he didn't want another gentle lecture about taking care of himself. But something, maybe the unusual timing, made him answer. "Hello," he said, trying to sound normal, but it wasn't her voice. It was a stranger's, calm, professional. "Is this Liam Carter?" His heart stumbled. "Yes, who is this?" "This is Riverside Medical Center. Your mother was brought in a few minutes ago." The world folded in on itself, the break room blurred, the chips fell from his hand, scattering across the floor. What happened?" His voice cracked, the panic already rising. "She's stable for now. We need you to come immediately." Stable for now, words sharp enough to cut. He didn't ask anything else. He didn't even remember hanging up. He just ran out of the store, through the parking lot, onto the main street where he flagged the first cab he saw with shaking hands. The drive felt endless, the car moving too slow, the lights too red, the world too loud. His thoughts jumbled. Why didn't I call more? Why didn't I visit last week? Why did I ignore her message last night? Questions that punished him before he even reached the hospital. When he arrived, the nurse at the desk recognized his name immediately. "Your mother is in the coronary unit. Follow me." Coronary. The word crashed into him harder than anything else. His legs trembled as he followed the nurse down long white hallways that smelled like disinfectant and fear. When he reached the room, he froze. His mother lay on the bed, small and fragile against the white sheets. Wires and tubes wrapped around her like cold vines. Her eyes were closed, her breathing shallow. She looked nothing like the woman who smiled every time he walked through the door. "Mom," he whispered, stepping closer. His voice broke on the second syllable. Her eyes opened slowly, as if it took everything she had. When she saw him, she managed a tiny smile. "You came, of course," he said, and tears slipped down his cheeks before he could stop them. He had never cried in front of her since he was a child. He held her hand, shocked by how cold it felt. "What happened? Why didn't you call me before? I didn't want to worry you," she whispered. "You're busy, building your life. I'm proud of you, Liam." He shook his head fiercely. "Don't say that. I should have been here. I should have called you. I should have." She squeezed his hand weakly. "You're here now. That's enough." But it wasn't enough. It felt like arriving at a burning house with a single cup of water. A doctor entered quietly. "Your mother had a severe heart attack," he explained. "We're monitoring her closely, but the next few hours are critical." Critical, the word echoed. Later that night, when the room was dim and quiet, she spoke again, barely audible. "Liam, remember when you were little and you used to call me at work just to tell me you found a new bug in the garden?" He nodded, smiling through tears. "You stopped calling," she said softly, though not with blame, "just sadness. You grew up, I know that's how it's supposed to be, but I missed your voice." Those words shattered him. He buried his face in her hand. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." She brushed a tear from his cheek. "I don't want you to apologize. I just want you to live your life fully. Don't waste it thinking there's more time. Time runs faster than we think." He stayed overnight, sitting beside her, afraid to close his eyes. He watched every rise and fall of her chest, terrified that one might be the last. The machines beeped, the lights flickered, and every second felt like its own lifetime. At dawn, she grew worse. The alarms beeped faster. Nurses rushed in, a doctor followed. Liam was pushed aside gently as they worked. He pressed himself against the wall, trembling violently. "Please," he whispered, "please." After several terrifying minutes, her heart stabilized slightly, but the doctor looked grim. "She's very weak. Talk to her while she's still awake." He returned to her side. She looked at him with tired eyes that held a lifetime of love. "Liam, do something for me." Yes, he breathed. He would have promised her the entire world. "Be kind to yourself, and don't wait too long to tell people you love them." "I love you," he said quickly, desperately, as if the words could hold her here. "I love you so much." She smiled, a small, peaceful smile. "I know." Her breathing slowed. He held her hand tighter. "Mom, stay with me. Please stay." But life doesn't pause for begging. Her eyes fluttered one last time. The monitor changed. A sound filled the room. One long, continuous tone that Liam would hear in his nightmares forever. He felt the world collapse. A nurse placed a gentle hand on his shoulder, but he didn't feel it. He could only feel the unbearable emptiness beside him. He cried, loud, broken, uncontrollable. He cried for every missed call, every ignored message, every Sunday he didn't show up, every moment he thought there would be more time. Later, outside the hospital, his phone vibrated, a notification. One unread message from Mom sent the night before. It said, "Good night, sweetheart. Call me when you can." He sank to the ground, clutching the phone to his chest. That call from the hospital had changed everything. Not just the day, not just the week, but the entire direction of his life. It made him realize how thin the line is between later and never. In the weeks that followed, he visited his childhood home often. The rooms were quiet, the air still carrying her scent. He found notes she had left on the fridge, half-read books on the table, and a sweater she had been knitting for him for winter. Every corner held a memory. One evening, he found her old phone in the drawer. He turned it on. In the call logs, he saw something that broke him all over again. She had tried to call him 3 times that morning before her heart attack. 3 times. He had been too busy laughing at memes. He pressed the phone to his forehead and cried silently, but grief, heavy as it was, did something unexpected. It changed him. He started calling people back. He visited old friends. He apologized where he needed to. He hugged Noah more, even though Noah pretended to hate it. He said, "I love you," more often, because life had shown him its harshest truth. One call can break you, but another can save someone else. Every night before sleeping, he whispered, "Good night, Mom," looking up at the ceiling, hoping she could somehow hear it, and he promised himself he would never wait again, never postpone love, never assume there would be more time. The call that took her away was the same call that gave him a new life, one shaped by love, urgency, and the fragile understanding that every heartbeat counts.